One of the greatest gifts a man can ever get is a woman whose heart is with you. One of the greatest, it is one of the greatest gifts that will attract prosperity. Wow.
Person you choose as your life partner will affect your faith, will affect your family, will affect your finances, will affect your fitness, will affect your joy, will affect your outlook, will affect your spirituality, will affect your path. I didn't realize that when I was younger, but someone said the most important decision you make in life is your life partner.
Whoa.
And after being with Ken for 30 years, I know what it's like to pick a bad life partner, and I know what it's like to pick a good life partner. So in this moment, I would say your life partner.
Facts. Facts. Marriage is overwhelmingly unsuccessful. It is way more dangerous than skydiving. Yes, you die from the skydiving, but the chances of a catastrophic skydiving incident is like 0.0003, and one where you die is 0.00001. It's like very limited, the chances of dying from skydiving. Whereas the chances of divorce, again, 56% divorce rate. How many stay together who are unhappy and they just stay together because they don't give up half their stuff or for religious reasons or whatever? This is a technology with an unbelievably bad failure rate.
Do more people die from marriage or skydiving?
Well, I think more people wish they were dead from marriage than skydiving. I think most people's sense of self, many people's sense of self dies as part of an unhappy marriage. Like, it's not a question of will you die. It's that you're alive and not living your life in a way that's enjoyable or in a way that's authentic to who you are. And I think a lot of people are doing that as a function of the choice that they made of marriage. And again, I'm not saying don't get married. But what I'm saying is, when someone says, I'm getting married, why is it impolite to say, why? Why? You're about to do something incredibly dangerous that fails so much of the time. Why not just say, why? I'm not saying, why would you do that? It's stupid. I'm saying, why? Because most people's answer doesn't make any sense. Well, because, I don't want to be alone. Wait, you have to get married to not be alone? Join a church group. I don't know. Join a baking squad. Join a softball team. You won't be alone. What does that mean? Well, I want to have, regular sex. Okay, I don't know that getting married is the solution to that. Like, it's not a guarantee of regular sex. Like, that's not, so if the question, first of all, you're not even allowed to ask the question, well, if anything, if you don't say, oh my God, that's so great, you have intimacy issues.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good day from wherever you might be watching me from. This is Eating Pains again, and we are here to discuss exactly what was happening over the week. There was a major major event. It was a blogger that I would say it was a blogging channel that I saw this video, and it resonated with me. It actually did resonate with me, and I decided that, okay, I need to come on board and also discuss it as well. So thank you for joining me. If you're just joining, this is Eating Pains again. And if you can hear me, please just say hi. You can hear me, let me know. I would like to know if you can hear me. Yeah, so this program is about this guy that it's now two couples, right? So it's now this lady is the person in the picture of these two couples. Now She made a man cry on a channel that I watched very recently, and I want us to analyze the video. So I'll be bringing on board the show. We'll be discussing the lessons that one can learn from, you know, this kind of event. So let's go on, and I don't want to waste too much time. Let's discuss this, and I would really like people to participate. In case you have anything to say, please join me in discussing this video. So this, I give credit to the Honest Bonds podcast. They were the ones that actually, you know, brought this on, and like I said, it resonated with me, and I decided to bring it on board and let's discuss it. And for me, when I see issues like this, I actually do not. The lady hasn't come out to talk. I have not. I've not really heard from the lady except from the lawyer. She's not been out in the public space to say, okay, this is my own side of the story. Because like people say generally, there are three sides to a story. The one on the first side, the other side, and the truth. For me, I'm not going to dwell on so many things, but I just want us to learn lessons from the fact that a brother could come out and he could cry so bitterly. So I want us to learn lessons from it. So please, let's watch the video and unpack the lessons one at a time.
Fine young man who was in a long-distance marriage for 11 years. After 11 years in a long-distance marriage, our guest woke up to videos and pictures of his wife on Instagram getting married to another man. In his response, and I quote partly, "My people, thanks for the calls and messages. I really appreciate y'all. As he shock una, now so he shock me too. I have overcome the hard parts. Make we no talk too much because the story long, well. End of quote here." And I ask you, Mr. Robert Bamidele Ekpeyong Ekpo, before the shocking revelation of Saturday, April 11th, 2026, how did you meet?
Okay, so throwback to 2015. I've been a Calabar boy, so one of the biggest MCs at the time. And I woke up one morning to a message from her. She sent me DM. Say, Peg, make I send her my number. You know how Instagram be that time. Would like pictures, he liked my picture, I like his picture, I like my dress. He came to my DM. Say, Peg, make I send her my number. It was funny, you know. I was like, who's this person? Because I like they get a sense of humor. So she texted me. I texted her my number. She called me. Apparently, in day on air, because she was working with Wazobi at the time. So I think her shift was like 5 a.m. or so. Starts at 5 a.m. And this was like early. You know, I would go wake up for morning now, just the press phone, you know. So I sent him number and he called me. So now we begin the gist, the talk. Days turned into weeks. In fact, like after a week or two, in come Calabar. I said, I get wedding for Enugu that weekend. So he's like, oh, you dey try avoid to pay flight ticket. I said, no. Oh yeah, come. When you come, you fly back from Enugu to Lagos because there's no direct flight from. At that time, there was no flight from Calabar to Enugu. So Calabar to Enugu now by road. So she come. That was the first time I saw her. You know, my brother.
Where did she come to Calabar?
She came to Calabar, yes.
Okay.
You know, so
and she fell in love.
My brother, it was.
Hello. Is there anything like falling in love the first time? When I got to this point, I was like, first time you fall in love. Is that even possible? If you've been talking to someone for a while, it doesn't mean that you should just fall in love like that. And he even went further with a major red flag. Listen to him.
Too stupid. No. You're a good guy.
Okay, so in reach, income, you know, we did My friend had an all-white party, went for the all-white party. In fact, I get pictures. Nobody say, went for the all-white party. The next day, we went to Enugu. From Enugu, and go back Lagos. And, that's how the relationship blossomed. They go back and forth,
So wait, before we go all this back and forth.
Yeah.
From the beginning, she texts you.
Yes.
You sent her your number.
Yes.
And you were talking for a period of 2 weeks.
About
before
that.
she requested to come and see you.
Yeah.
Not be you extend the invitation.
You know how we talk now? When are we going to see? Oh, me, I'm at the work. Oh, I'm going to work. Oh, because I was working at the radio as well in Calabar.
What radio?
Hit FM. I was working with the state radio at the Paradise FM, but that time I'd moved to Hit FM. And okay, you can say okay. She say, okay. I said okay. Oh yeah, she wants to come to Calabar. Okay, come to Calabar. But I have a wedding this weekend.
This was in a period of 2 weeks.
Yes.
And she basically initiated like most of the
I like women that are
bold.
Because me, I always get DMs, I get advances from women. The ones who I know I no go respond. The ones who I
What made you like her?
It was the way she sent the message.
The audacity.
Oga, Oya now, I beg, send, Oya now, send us your number. It was funny. So I sent the number, she called, and we just clicked immediately with the gist. It was great.
Which is normal.
She came after 2 weeks of talking, she came.
Yeah, she came to Calabar, yeah.
After 2 weeks.
Yes.
No,
that is number one error right there. When I sleep, that was a major, major mistake. Why would you, at the first instance, sleep with somebody that you barely know? The moment you as even a woman, not just a man, even a woman, the moment you start, copulating with somebody that you want to have a, future plan with, or a future life with, you're investing into that relationship. You've already invested your body. That means you'll be emotionally attached. Red flags will turn to green flags for you when you do things like this. Red flags will definitely become green flags. Let's continue to listen.
Freeze, that will not sleep. Sound like everybody sleep
now. We knock now. Yes, now.
Who initiated it?
I don't know how it started, but we started kissing from the airport, my brother.
Imagine that.
So
the chemistry between two of them was intense.
It was crazy. The chemistry was off the hook. Oh my! I'm a popular Calabar boy. I was everywhere. There were girls all around me, and then immediately she came. Everybody can't no say, you get one baby, they come from Lagos, can't find this guy. Because she kept going back, we kept going back and forth. She fit come like 1 week, I go wait another 1 week, then I'll go come Lagos. I was staying in the apartment, 251 or something. Small cubicle like this, I would date Lagos 2-3 days, go there for the same room, Her friends were in, you know how Cool FM gets this thing for people. And, it was mad. And between May, this happened in May 2015. Between May and August, I knew I was going to get married.
How could you?
Between May and August.
Between May and August. This had actually happened to me before. Between May, June, July, August, in 4 months. Is that even possible? To know that you will get married to someone in 4 months? That was a major, major, major mistake. This my brother did. That was a major mistake. In 4 months, you already knew you were going to be married to a lady you barely know. The distance alone from Calabar to Lagos, it was just an error. You don't get married like that.
Proposed on my birthday.
What drove you to propose? What was that thing that made you propose?
We were always having conversations now. And she told me that she was previously married. And I didn't care. I didn't care. I said, I'm going to tell you something. It would either tell you, it would either make you run. You know how you are gisting with somebody? It would either make you run or stay. And I was like, what is this? I was married before. Okay.
At what point did she tell you that?
I can't remember, but it's obviously before I proposed. Because, I can't propose to somebody who's married.
And did she tell you how many times she's been married before?
At that time, no. But she just
said
told me I was previously married, and I didn't even get to know the person's name. I didn't bother to ask. These are the things I didn't ask. I was madly in love. I didn't ask.
So
you get.
Let me ask. You got together in May.
Yeah.
And
he was madly in love. How can you be madly in love and not ask pertinent questions? Don't be in a relationship with somebody without asking questions. You need to find out about them. You need to get to know them. And look, it happened to the best of us. I myself, who is talking today, that's why I said it resonates with me. I had met somebody before and I got married to her April, May, June, July. I got married to the person in 4 months. It was the biggest mistake of my life. So it resonates with me a lot. You can't get married to somebody within 4 months.
On your birthday in August,
yeah,
you had proposed.
Yeah.
Before you got together with her in May, and then your birthday in August, did you think about marriage?
No.
It crossed your mind as a guy man went fine.
No, I be like professional bachelor at the time. You know, I was Calabar fine boy. I was the first MC in Calabar to buy a car. Do you get? I was living in, my parents were late. My mom died in 2009, November. My dad died in January. So, and we're just 3 boys. My elder brother works in Uyo. My younger brother was working with, what they call this, Nigerian at the time. You know, so we're living in a big house, just 2 of us, me and my brother. So I was living large. I wasn't paying rent. I wasn't paying anything. The state government gave my granny they named the airport in Calabar after my grandma. So anywhere I go, in Mama Grerepo, you know, that kind of thing. So I was, yeah, that's my grandma. You know, so I was living large. So I didn't think I was going to ever leave Lagos and leave Calabar. You get? I mean, we'll have events and the state government will call, and when it's my turn, I'll use it to tease the governor. I'll be like, Your Excellency, you know, maybe I'll give you an example. Say maybe in America, the JFK airport, you know, can you just, this one that the airport is named after my grandma, can you approve that I should be flying free? Everybody will laugh, you know, that kind of thing. So I was living large. Then it was 100K. I was the first MC in Calabar to be charging 100K. I didn't have rent to pay. I was just buying fuel, buying food. No responsibility per se.
So apparently, I think he had a kind of rosy childhood, from what he is saying. I think he has it all good. So I don't think he has really seen challenges of life. If he has seen challenges of life, maybe when he was growing up, I think his story would have been a bit different. But let's keep going.
My brothers were working, I was working, so there was really nothing for me to, you know, there was no girlfriend. And mind you, because of the kind of work I do, people, they feel, say, once you look at me, people would say, this boy na Playboy. So they labeled me a Playboy in Calabar. If you call my name, Robert, they go, that one way like woman. Women always follow me, but the thing is, I never followed through. My friends used to say that I be striker, like I did like striker when if he score goal.
That's not striker now.
Oh, it's okay now.
Sorry, because I cross and not they use the score. But let's continue.
You know, they say I did like striker when if he score goal. So you know those kind of people that girls are always around them, but they don't really do anything with. Girls come to my house, sleep overnight. I don't do anything.
You don't do anything?
I don't do anything. When I say I don't do anything, I say I don't do anything.
And you people
But what made Mayowa different?
And that's what I say. You see, it's just like when you see your wife, you will know that this person, they say that the man knows the woman that he wants to get married to.
That's a lie. I think you don't see someone and just conclude that the person is your wife. I'm not an authority in terms of marriage, but yes, I've been there. Like I said, I've been there before. But the truth is, you don't judge by physical looks. You need to get to know the person. You need to know the person, like my therapist will say, you need to know the person in good times, the bad times, the 4 seasons, winter, summer, autumn, and spring. You need to know them in all of those 4 seasons, because there will be the good times, the bad times. How do they handle challenges? How are they doing when they are happy? You need to know all of this. So it's a bit of a.
But that intuition, would you say, in
error here.
hindsight, she was really your wife?
At the time, yes. Even last year, as I speak to you, even at last year, when she came to Nigeria, that I sent money for her to buy a ticket and she came to Nigeria. So
No, wait, we go back to this last year. Make we go back to the years before last year. Now, you proposed in
August
of 2015.
Yeah.
Just tell us the circumstances surrounding the proposal. Remember, say you they live for Calabar.
Yeah.
Very big in Calabar, doing well, working.
Yeah.
She lived in Lagos at the time, working also.
Yeah.
So
She was
how
big
did
in Lagos as
how
well.
did you people the conversation around that?
So like I said, I didn't think about it too much. So I proposed in August. So at the time, Film House had a cinema in Calabar. They opened a cinema, and that time was the only cinema in Calabar. So they opened the cinema, and that was when Fantastic Four was premiering. So they had like a celebrity watch, whatever. You know, my name was on so I had to bring people to come and watch it, you know. So while we were at the cinema watching the movie, a friend of mine, I had arranged with a friend of mine to go and put, petals and all that on the bed because it was my birthday, you know. So after that, the plan was to go around different hotels because I didn't want us to stay in the idea was I didn't want us to stay in the house. So, okay, we don't go. So after the whole thing ended quite late, we now started driving, went to the first hotel. Oh, I don't like this room. Of course, I had already made plans in a hotel. I don't like this room. Let's check this other one. I had a photographer friend that was already waiting for me at the hotel. Went to this other hotel. Oh, I don't like this one. Went to the last hotel. And they're like, okay, do you have let me see the room. So I'd already planned with them. So when they opened the room, immediately they opened it, they saw the will you marry me on the, and then my friend took a picture, all the things, and all that. Yeah, so
moment.
Yeah, so we got engaged, and from there we now went to the club. The club at that time, Calabar had just one club as well.
There's a place I'm going to actually,
and that was we started
for this program.
I started coming more to Lagos. She would drive all the way from the island to pick me up at the airport. Every time I came to Lagos, she used to pick me up at the airport. See, I had never felt like that towards a woman before. Let me not lie. I never felt like that before.
Hypnotized.
So I didn't think it twice.
Hypnotises.
So we got married in November after proposing in August. 22nd of November, 29th, I can't remember. And I think 29th. Either 22nd or 29th. In fact, the reason why we chose that day was because that was the only free day I had in the month of November. As an MC, of course,
booked
how it
and
is.
busy.
Yes, so that was the only free day. So that's how I booked we fixed my wedding date on that day.
Wow. So
this is deep.
Now you're married to somebody who lives in Lagos.
Yes.
You are busy, very big in Calabar.
Yeah.
How did you manage that situation?
Big question here, because when you're married and you're still living apart, that's a major issue, because most times when couples live apart, you will have a bit of friction. Trust issues will come on, conflicts, financial issue will come on, because now it's double expense. You're having a house, you're paying rent over there. She's also having a house, she's paying over there, cooking and all that. So, conjugal needs will be, very important as well. But if you don't have it, it could cause friction. So, these are things that are built up. But let's listen to her. There's a specific place I'm going to where I would kick off my program. We're not going to finish the video.
I didn't want to move to Lagos because at the time, I was doing well. In Lagos, I'm paying almost how much? 7 million, 5 million for rent. That can get you a duplex in Calabar. You'll be a big boy, I'm telling you. So I didn't want to come to Lagos, not because I couldn't afford it, but I could afford it in Calabar. I was doing well in Calabar. I was the first MC to drive a car in Calabar. I was the first MC to always perform for the government. I was doing things. That's how I got to know most of the celebrities in Lagos, because they would come to Calabar and we are all in the green room. So when I moved to Lagos, this Calabar boy, what did they do here? I'm in Lagos now. Really? So that's how I got to know most of them, you know. And then after a while, she now said, "Oh, you know what? What do you think of us relocating? Why? Let's relocate now." This was after I moved to Lagos. In fact, comedians in Calabar were using me as material. Say when man marry, now woman they come in house. This one marry, now woman carry and go in house. They were using me as material.
Yeah, you're a material, because that was another major red flag or a major issue with the marriage. A man is supposed to be a man. A woman is supposed to come to you. So apparently, Mayowa was the domineering factor in this marriage. Mayowa was the domineering factor in the marriage. So that's enough lessons to learn. I'm sure so many men have made the mistake. I also made the mistake because I changed my last name for a woman. So it is not, that's why I said the video resonates with me. I had to change my last name because of a woman.
You get? And I moved to Lagos, you know, and it was hard. It was hard because I wasn't getting gigs. I can stay months without gigs. You get? I didn't know that. But me, I be Calabar boy. I can cook. There was a time we were always fighting because she was always buying food. She would buy food from all these.
So
it was when I.
Do you know that these are things that he should have known while they were dating or while they were courting? Did you know all of this? That she cannot cook, that she doesn't like to cook, or she likes to eat out? Do you know all of this before you decided that you want to be with her? You didn't check all of this. Now you're complaining, brother. These were red flags, I'm sure. So the issue is that because they went to bed too early, they must have had they must have been bounded emotionally such that when you are seeing the red flag, you will not want to leave. Now, wait to do this, brother, with that.
Came to Lagos. Let me know.
So
like
she can't cook.
I don't know, Baba.
She no cook for you
once or twice. But the thing is, it was when I came to Lagos that I found out that they have what did we cook?
Mama put.
No, not Mama put.
In pots now, in bowls.
Yes, it's when I came to Lagos that I found. I go to the market. I cook. I can cook. There was a time that we had issues in our marriage and we had to see a counselor or something. Not a therapist, a counselor. And when I told the counselor that this woman doesn't cook, you know, she would beg, she would shout, she would. In the midst of the counsel. This
is my brother. Just in marriage. It was in the marriage that he started dating the wife. He started dating the wife in marriage.
Counseling. She busted out crying. You know, making me look like as if I was the bad person. Baba, they go market, they cook. See, let me tell you something. Maiwa she has stayed 7 years in the US. I never collect $1 from her. I never took $1 from her. When she was leaving, I have an uncle. He has a big company in oil.
My husband is in Nigeria. I am in America. Dollar to naira. Which one is stronger? And I cannot help my husband in Nigeria with $1. It's disgusting. Trust me. It's very disgusting.
And gas. I told him that my wife is traveling. She's relocating. He said, are you sure? I said, it's for our own good. You go. I had to, in all of this, I had to lie. Both of us, we didn't tell our families that the plan was for her to go with B1, B2, do arranged marriage, which I agreed to. And I was, in fact, when they found out my family and her family, they found out last year that it was arranged marriage, called me, said, are you aware that your wife did arranged marriage? I said,
so this is where this is the major, if you look at the headline, the headline for my video is Nigerian man exposes wife's US green card scam. Over 1.3 million views on this video. So playing the entire thing does not make any sense anymore. But this is the spot for my for this moment, the reason why I came out today. Now, let me show us something that obviously this lady is in soup. Let me show you something.
The third thing, in increasing social media and financial vetting and community interviews. Although before this
is a lawyer,
policy was
immigration lawyer.
announced, we have already been saying it on this program that if you are not a U.S. citizen, you need to be careful with your social media posts. You need to be careful with what you post online, electronically, either on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on Instagram, TikTok, and you see, I read something last week. I can't remember precisely where I read it, but I read something last week where the DHS admitted that they were actually using what do they call this thing? Malware, some kind of malware to actually, because a lot of people believe that conversation on WhatsApp is secure. It's encrypted. DHS admitted, I read it somewhere, I will try to find out where I did. They admitted that they were using some kind of technology to actually read messages on WhatsApp. So for those of you who believe that their communication is secure on WhatsApp, you may want to have a rethink. It may be secure to people like you and me, but as far as American government is concerned, they have access to all this information. I've always told my client that, look, these people have access to this technology. They are the ones that created all this technology. So the EU who invented a pencil also invented the eraser. So if you write something with a pencil, they can also clean it up with an eraser. So they own all these technologies. I will try to find out where I read that. I read it last week that they admitted, maybe it is one of the congressional inquiries. DHS admitted that they have this malware that they use to intercept and read encrypted messages on WhatsApp. So if you are if you are like me before now, who used to believe that our communications on WhatsApp are secure, yes, it may be secure as between two people. It may be secured as between you and your friends. It may be secured as between you and other people. But as far as the U.S. government is concerned, it is not secured. They admitted, the Department of Homeland Security admitted. Oh, did you see it there? Yeah, spyware. Yeah. So they admitted. In fact, somebody just told me here now that they did you just Google it?
Yeah, it's on NPR.
So what did you Google?
So I Googled place where DHS admitted to using malware.
Okay. If you want to verify it, just go on Google, type place where DHS admitted using malware to track WhatsApp messages. So they have this technology. So if you are like me, who used to believe that whatever we say or whatever we do on WhatsApp is secure, now you know. Be careful what you say online. Be careful what you write online. Be careful what you post online. It is very clear that all this security thing does not affect the U.S. government. They have access to it, whether it is secure or not.
That's the lawyer telling us that the social media is being monitored. That's a lawyer, a reputable lawyer here in the U.S. You can follow his channel, by the way, Dr. Olusegun Ashekun. I follow him regularly, and that is when I knew that this Mayowa girl, that sex is everything that she knows, she will soon be back in Nigeria.
Man, when a husband has good sex with the wife, when you have constant sex with your wife, when you dey knock your wife steady, dey relieve frustration. Even if you no get money, even if things never arrange the way it's supposed arrange, there's a certain happiness that comes with it. Oh, what? I don't know wetin they do this men. My wife, she too dey nag, she too dey complain, she too dey this. Sometimes when we women are sex starved, we dey accumulate am, e dey turn like nagging. We go dey accumulate am. Nothing wey you go do wey go good for our eye. But woman wey dem dey knack am well, my brother, e dey release frustration. He dey release frustration. So husbands, please, in the name of the Nisi El Shaddai, any God that you serve, knock your wife. And not just any knocking. See, for
the truth is this.
When you dey knock your
this lady, even like she likes sex. So it's telling all the men that they should knock their wives. And there's nothing bad in it. It's nothing bad if you can, have a good time with your wife, husband as well. There's nothing really bad about it. But Maiwa, I can guarantee that you're on your way back to Nigeria, because your husband vividly said that it was a fraudulent marriage. Let's listen to him again. He said it was a fraudulent marriage.
Yes, and the man told me you're a fool.
Was she the one that talked you into the arranged marriage?
Yes, because he would get her green card.
Can you hear that? Because if we do arranged marriage, it will get our green card. They want green card. You are married in Nigeria. You are now in America without being divorced. You came to America to get a green card. You did arranged marriage to get green card. I'm gonna begin pack your bag. You didn't go house. Because, like I just played now, the whole of the, I'm sure Homeland Security already knows this, that your case is a fraud. Is a fraudulent case. Your husband just told the whole world, and over 1 point something million people have viewed it. I'm sure the USCIS people must have watched it as well, and they must have unheaded your file, because your file, as I speak, must be currently on review.
So she suggested.
Yes. And then she got the arranged marriage. In fact, the day that she was going to do the marriage, she called and was crying, oh, this should have been you. I was like, don't worry, just for a period of time. You know. And then she told me to delete all my pictures, all our pictures. If you know us, if you know Robbie and Maiwa back then, when Instagram was 15 seconds, you know that we used to do a lot of content.
That means it was intentional. She specifically told him to delete everything that had to do with them, so that immigration, law enforcement, if they're checking her background, there will be nothing that shows that she is married in Nigeria. So your green card or your US, if you have gotten the citizenship, is a fraud. Auntie Maiwa, begin to pack your bag, you are going home. Your green card, your whatever that you have, or US, is a green card. It's your husband that is confirming it here, right here.
Now, let me tell you the backstory behind all those content. Before we shoot one content, we don't fight tire. Because me, I was just, okay, you would do like this, you would do like this. And then the way she would talk to me to do like this and do like this, it was kind of like demeaning sometimes. So by the time because she would, me, up till now, I don't know how to edit on my phone. So Instagram videos, you have to translate
Transition.
or transfer your message.
Okay.
You have to transfer your message in 15 seconds. So whatever content we're putting out, we'll do it, she'll edit it, and then we post. And people like, oh, I love this couple, this and that. There was a time my church did a competition for couples, and they wanted couples to go to Dubai. They posted couples pictures on their Instagram page, and then the couple with the highest likes would, it was us. They paid that in 2016 or 20, they gave us $1,000 to go to Dubai. Everything, all expense paid. We got to Dubai. It was as if she was in. My wife is very
domineering.
Yes, very domineering.
This lady anchor is the star of that day. She was asking deep, pertinent question, and I give it to her. In fact, I was telling someone that if I know her personally, I will personally find a very good husband for her if she's not married, because the lady was very sensible in her asking of questions.
If Mario said, the only 2 times that I put my foot down and I said, this will not happen, was when she said, I came to Lagos, I no get car. She said she wanted to sell the car. I said,
the only 2 times. That means that Mayowa was the one that was controlling the marriage. Mayowa was the husband in the marriage. The only 2 times. So my brother no get sick.
Sell the car. How are we going to be moving around? She said she will add money, she will buy. Of course, me, I don't get money now. So it was one like I was bossing you around. So I said, no, we're not going to sell this car. That was the first one. Second one was when she said she wanted us to move to a bigger house. And I said, no, I don't want to move to a bigger house. But I like this place where we did. She said, no, that we move to a bigger house with all these tourists back and forth. She tried to tell her friends. We now went to the place just before the Aja Bridge. There's one place like that when the big compound, 4-bedroom. I just went there because I knew my mind was made up like that. I was not going to. Where I'm staying, my house is where I've not moved out since I came to Lagos. I know people that they will stay in a house and then after a year they move. I just like the places, the proximity to VI, to Lekki is not far, especially now that they've done the road. But in 2017, I stumbled on a message that she sent to her friend. And I knew that if I screenshotted it and sent to myself, she would see it. So I used my second phone to... Sorry, let me just read the message to you guys.
I don't really want to bore us with the video because, of course, over 1.something million people have viewed it. I would like to show some things that shows that this guy is actually in a messed up relationship. Just after the video came out, I thought that the lady was just dancing, all over the place, laughing, making them mad, and letting the world know that what was that? Messed up lady. If it is a woman who is remorseful or feels anything for the guy, I don't think this is the next thing to do. But of course, I stayed on social media and I decided to investigate what's really going on. I was able to, come across some of the things that showed that the lady knows what she's doing. Let me show you something. Let's watch this. 1 minute. Let me just get this off. Man, may we not marry our enemy. The truth is, once you marry your enemy, you get it wrong. Let's watch this.
And Mayowa story, it actually has a very big twist. Because many of you don't know, if you bring Robert, you bring Mayowa, you bring David, then you will have to bring Tolu. Yes, Tolu, the mother of 2. Well, Tolu is David's wife, Mayowa's husband in Nigeria with kids. David's previous wife. And apparently Mayowa is a tyrant. She has reportedly slept with different men abroad, even supposedly broke a home. Yeah. So now you better grab the popcorn, click the follow button, and listen attentively to the end of this video. You will learn a lot. So where you can see David and Mayowa's wedding shoot. So you have to ask yourself, what do these two actually have in common? They are both in the US. They are both abroad. While Mayowa's original partner, Robert, and David's original partner, Tolu, are both in Nigeria. Now, this is 8 years ago. This is David and Tolu, the original wife. 8 years ago, then this is also David and Tolu. The original wife. So David is supposedly a gospel artist at that time, and presently is like a drummer to his church. As you can see, currently abroad is a drummer to his church. So 2019, David had a daughter with Tolu. 2021, he had another son with Tolu. So 2 kids before David moved abroad. Well, most of you didn't know this. This is what you see on social media. So you have to ask yourself, did David divorce the mother of his 2 kids in Nigeria? His supposed first wife before actually trying to marry Mayowa. And this is his first wife, Tolu's current page, as you can see. But now Mayowa, most of you didn't even know that as at 11 years ago, it was Mayowa that actually asked Robert out. Okay, just watch yourself.
By the way, how long ago did you meet?
2015.
Okay, and you've been married for how long?
Since 2015.
You met on the same day and married on the same
We married 5 months after we got.
Oh my goodness!
When you see what you want, I mean, she slid into my DM, so yeah.
Was that what happened?
Look, I'm a confident woman, okay?
So it was what happened?
I'm a confident
Answer
woman.
the question.
And when confident women want something, they just go.
Oh shit!
So we already have
Apparently
information
that's
that
how
last
she
time
got
Robert
this
Somayowa
guy.
was in 2021 until last year that Robert Somayowa and Mayowa actually went to do BBL, and that Mayowa was taking contraceptive so that she wouldn't get pregnant for Robert during the time of their 11 years long distance marriage. Now these are private chats between Robert and Mayowa. Now you should ask yourself, what are the escapades and the adventures that Mayowa had been up to all these years abroad? Like all the men she had reportedly been with before deciding to actually settle for David. Well, a lady dropped a comment that actually caught attention. You see, I am sprinkled in sugar. She cheated with my ex-husband, so I believe everything he's saying, that Mayowa cheated with her ex-husband. So if you check her profile, look at that story. Now see, authorized user credit card that was opened by my ex-husband for Mayowa Lambe in late 2020. What? As at 6 years ago. Look, Mayowa Lambe, like Wells Fargo. So this lady's ex-husband actually was cheating with Mayowa while Mayowa was being married to Robert in Nigeria. Like she even got the lady's ex-husband to open a credit card for her, right? Actually, it can't be like say Mayowa been they used to do on this man, because she actually got the man to actually file and send the credit card to their matrimonial home, to his matrimonial home. Look, next slide. Further evidence, this card was mailed to my marital home, and to make matters worse, I continue to receive mail of other credit card offers for Mayowa Lambe. Like even the ex-husband was getting other credit cards, because this one is from Wells Fargo. This is women. Like what the F? Now to drop more proof, right? By I am sprinkled in sugar. Look at the picture her ex-husband, right? Took at a mall, and like this at the same mall. Mayowa on her page, she took the same picture too, so they snapped each other. This man was cheating on his wife with Mayowa, while Mayowa was cheating on Robert in Nigeria with this man. This I am sprinkled in sugar's ex-husband. Wow. Then look, another, you see, this is some of the credit card offers which could come to my former marital home in the name of Mayowa. This man was supposedly opening different credit cards for Mayowa. A total sweet like that. Oh, sorry. Let's get back to business. Like now look, this is message between Yusuf Fatai, that's the name of the woman's ex-husband, aka Tunji or TJ and Mayowa Lam, like their chat. See, thank you so much, sweetheart. Fine, just woke up. How are you doing? Cool, you are able to settle your rent. This man was actually paying Mayowa's rent. Baby boo, he claimed he never bought her the car, but what do I know? This man actually still bought Mayowa a car. Oh my, total sweet. Nothing you want tell me. Yeah, you can't tell say make David we get wife for Nigeria makes like Joshua. Oh Mayowa. I give it to this lady. So well, newsflash: if you're here to get your own free 3,000 naira, run now to Apple Store and Play Store.
Anyway, that is that is one blogger right there that I had to show us the skills of Auntie Mayowa. Let me show you another blogger that that it was crazy. Let me show you this one. Another bad blogger. that Mayowa had been all over the place. That shows that she's crazy and she's been enjoying herself. You have to be careful who you're going to get married to.
I'm trying to move away from this Mayowa and Robbie situation, but the plot keeps thickening. I swear to God, it's more or less as the day goes by, we are unboxing, Pandora's box. But I am sprinkled in sugar posted. Maybe Homeland Security and investigations can let us know if it was my ex-husband, Yusuf Fatai, who invited Mayowa to America after.
I said Mayowa is coming home, sir. She's going home because I'm sure this is the biggest scandal in the internet right now in terms of a a fraudulent Nigerian who decided to, get green card fraudulently. The husband, I'm sure that Robbie did not deliberately go online to go and, say that. He was just telling his story. But Mayowa, Bola Tinubu, they wait for you.
After he had secured his citizenship through marriage to me. Whoa. This Mayowa gets so many things. Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Bro, this Mayowa go answer questions while lights are lie. So now there are two new additions. There's somebody called Fatai and his ex-wife. They've added them into this G. So it's no longer Mayowa and Robbie. We are dealing with 4 people. You understand? So the plot, you can see why I said the plot is thickening. Now she said, I have suspected the same thing that Fatai, my ex-husband, had applied for Mayowa to come to the USA. He has previously applied for visas for other people in the past and into falsified documents / passports. He had previously proposed to Mayowa prior to meeting me. And was actively dating her while married to his Slovenian wife. Yusufu. So in part, your point is not wrong. However, I do not, for any reason, want anything to do with Tunji. Okay, sorry, it's Tunji. At all in this life or the next. For someone so foul and wrong, he deserves all karma coming his way. Edit. I later found out much of the mail he would divert to his car dealership address. He fucked up by not considering the mail might come to the house because Mayowa would have been associated with my marital home address. Whoa. This Mayowa no be say. He actually admitted to opening credit card for her after confronting him. He claimed to be helping his former girlfriend / fiancé, who at the time was married, all the while still married to me. For you, that level of betrayal may be fine, but for me, it is very wrong. Furthermore, it's not today that I expose all of this. I previously blogged about it and did TikTok about it in 2021. Yeah. Finally, the betrayal came from someone I had married to and not Mayowa. Whoa. Which is why I continue to expose all my ex's atrocities. Bruv. You see how these people actually keep exes as friends?
I tire.
Nigga, they're still fucking, bro.
They are fucking.
So she exposed some chats. She said, this is message between Yusuf Fatai, aka Tunji or TJ, and Mayowa.
Bro, once a woman is still saying, I'm talking to my ex, I'm still, even a man, women, if you are here listening to me, if a man is still in touch with their exes, oh my God, babe, if somebody's an ex, the person's an ex, what are you talking about? What are you discussing? Imagine Mayowa keeping in touch with all sorts of exes. Let's continue to listen.
Lambe. CEO Mayowa, bro, 2021. Okay, we can't really see a lot from here, but this is just diabolical. This is the mail thing that you're talking about. Why is your ex-girlfriend receiving mail to the house? Whoa. You know you do a lot of shit that's a straight violation. Like one, why does she have our address? You say she's a friend who you lied about seeing a few months ago. What kind of thing is this? So you're supporting her or what? What the fuck is all of this? You're always doing some straight up disrespectful things. Like, why are you still in contact with her? So clearly you still have something with her. Whoa. Just totally disrespectful and no disregard for me at all. That's exactly why you do these kind of things. Bruv. Bro, this guy's ex is just ravaging, bro. She's in the comments. She said, very good. Make them cuckoo pull Yusuf Fatai, USCIS file, and invitation and people he has sponsored to America using my marital address at the time. Whoa. Then she was replying, she now said, me too. I am an unsuspecting spouse of someone who not only used but harmed me. which is Yusuf, who happened to be her.
Guys, do you know that this incident alone, that is why Nigeria fell on the list of the 75 countries that they banned. Right now, the US embassy in Nigeria has shut down now. They're not working. They're just doing skeletal job. Skeletal job, probably they're working, maybe they're doing issuing visa or whatever consular services to government officials. They're not, nobody, even our visa now, if you have a US green visa, they will, once you get to the border, or you get to the custom at the border, they can revoke it. Anything coming from Nigeria because of things like this. And you know the sad thing about it, just last week, was it last week? USCIS and Homeland Security, they decided that they want to review all the green cards. My own is now among them. I got my own through. I got my green card through education, through my degree. If you want to know how I got my green card through my education, just drop a comment. We'll talk about it. We'll chat about it. But meanwhile, anybody that got their own green card through marriage, if you got your green card through marriage, almost scrutiny is burial. Now that my one now has even worsened the case of Nigerian applicants in terms of green card, and the ones that are current, that are pending, to worsen the case now, the ones that are pending will be damned fraud. It means that the cases that are currently on review, or what the current cases that they are checking, they are fraud. This is nonsense. When you are a very bad person and you're trying to, you think you think you can do things and go scot-free. You think you can hurt people and go scot-free. Now, honestly speaking, Robbie was just talking innocently. He was just telling his story. He doesn't even know the implication of what he was saying. While like the lie, go see, Mayowa is gone. If she doesn't go to jail first, because that's a fraud, that's deliberate, they call it misrepresentation. She has misrepresented to the US government. She's gone. She might either go to jail first before she gets deported, because I'm sure for a whole month, this is what they will be reviewing USCIS currently. All Nigerian applicants. Once you have a Nigerian name, or your origin is Nigeria, or your current passport is Nigeria, back there, you are toast. If you submitted your application and it is Nigeria and you are saying you are from Nigeria, married to an American, you can escape it. Everything there for everybody right now. I know they did. But Mayowa don't spoil everything for everybody. How can you be so wicked? You now, that is why people say karma is a bitch. Karma is indeed a bitch. Karma is indeed a bitch. You think you got, there are some people you cannot hurt and go scot-free, Mayowa. You cannot hurt some people and go scot-free. Well, I can tell you that innocently. Robbie was just talking. He was just telling his story. Let's continue.
Former boyfriend prior to marriage. Now Yusuf opened the credit card for Mayowa. Before this, I put them online in 2021 on my blog and Instagram. Nobody today I talk on. The Mayowa girl caused serious issues in my household.
Are you see?
So I go talk my own, share my mind, my experience. Bruv. I hope that after this one, I don't log out. But I see some
another one. Log out. You cannot log out.
I see some another one, guys. I see some another one, bro. I don't tire about this gist.
No tire.
Guys, I'm trying to move away from this Mayowa and Robbie situation, but the plot keeps.
No. That is the just listen to another one though. I wanted to Mayowa, not serious, babe. Listen to this one. Another woman came up and it was on Daddy Freeze's show. The woman came up and started telling us
choosing partners the way most.
No, not this one. Let me get it. Yeah, this one. Let's listen to the woman.
Your path cross with the paths of Robbie and Mayowa.
Okay. So around
late 2014, I met my now, depending on, who you ask, husband. And around 2015, between the ending of 2014 and 2015, we met in Nigeria, and we then got engaged.
This is
after
another
I
woman.
discovered that I was pregnant. He explained to me that Maiwa is my ex-girlfriend. After I had seen some messages between he and her, and he also explained that he was formally engaged to her. And I was wondering why, it didn't materialize, and he explained to me that, that she didn't have, that she had bad character. And I say that in quotations because originally I just, if a guy is telling me something about another woman, I kind of take it as a surface value because
Would you mute where you are? Okay. Continue, Tolu.
Yeah. So it's something that I just took at the surface value, at the surface level. And, throughout that, I learned some more things about him that even while he was dating Maiwa then, he had been married to another woman, a white woman in Slovenia.
Oh, wow.
And then I now find out that he had finalized his divorce in late 2014 from her. By then, I'm already pregnant for this person. We already planned the traditional wedding and the white wedding and all. And I felt kind of stuck and also betrayed that you didn't tell me all these details until it was too late for me. And I would later find out that around the same time that this Maiwa and Robbie now came to know each other and eventually engaged, around the same time that I did my traditional wedding, which was in September of 2015. Yeah, so, throughout that time, things were very rocky, tumultuous between myself and my ex, Yusuf.
Is this Maiwa?
And, you're being abusive to me. And, there's a thing about when a partner is being abusive, at first, you might not
Just say
realize
AB
what is
because of the community guidelines. We don't even know why they've stolen my audio.
Okay.
So don't say the word
So,
ABUS,
so
you
we
fool.
say
Yeah, you can say AB. DVAB. That's domestic VAB, yeah.
Yes. So, at that time, it was very rocky and tumultuous, and he had made several trips back and forth from Atlanta because
What was your ex-husband's job?
His job, he claimed to me that he was a geologist, originally, but, upon meeting him, he had all this explanation of how he was doing importing and exporting of cars in the Central Europe. And then he also claimed that, he was a geologist. But in my whole duration of knowing him, I've never known him to take any sort of a job that, was centralized around being a geologist. So, later on, once he relocated from Central Europe to Atlanta, Georgia, he had been working as a used car dealer. And he continued to import and export cars from Atlanta, and abroad and so on and so forth.
Okay, continue your story. So how did you meet and how did you get to where you got to?
Yeah, so throughout the duration of the marriage, he would take multiple trips back and forth to Nigeria. He would also travel stateside, he would go to Canada. And many of these trips, I wouldn't go with him on these trips, After he relocated, I've probably traveled with him to Florida, to South Carolina, and that was it. We didn't do much traveling together after he relocated here. he would do most of the traveling alone by himself. And I'd later find out that when he was going to Nigeria, prior to my understanding 2019, when Mayowa had now relocated to I guess at the time it was New York. I believe she relocated to New York first. And I now learned that he wasn't exactly truthful about the reasons for him traveling. And I suspected that maybe he had still been seeing her off and on. But the thing about it wasn't only her, it was so many other women that he had been seeing. So when it now came back up, that, his involvement with Mayowa, that I have, some concrete proof that he's still involved with her, that would have been in late 2019. And the reason that I knew is because I had gone to my mailbox and I found out that there was a piece of mail that came in the name of Mayowa. And it happened to be a credit card number. Yes. Yep.
Can you hear that? There's a piece of mail that's coming in the name of Mayowa. Mayowa has been terrorizing the entire community of dating for a long time, taking other people's husband when she left her husband in Nigeria.
And I recall confronting him about it. I sent him a message about it on WhatsApp, and he then, responded in a way to just like blow it off as, oh, she's just a friend. She's just a friend, and when I would suspect that, hey, this is not sounding right, he would say, oh, I'm being delusional, or, oh, I need to find something to do or something like that. But for someone to, you're a married person, for someone to take such steps and, for another woman who at the time I knew is married, that seems very somehow. It seems very disrespectful. It seems very, it seems like a betrayal to me. So, I'd later find out that there was transactions between she and him after that time. And that was much after the divorce had been filed, which came in May of 2021. Yeah. And it was so bad to the extent that, my divorce was so highly contentious that my attorneys even wanted to subpoena her. And what I knew is that she had been living in Fresno, California. And then from Fresno, California, she now relocated to Texas. And I was the time of he found out in 2019, and actually getting more text messages on that I posted on my story that he had somehow been supporting her financially, even
Imagine
to
that.
the extent of maybe helping her to get an apartment
In Dallas.
in Texas.
Texas, Dallas.
Or wherever. I don't know exactly where the apartment was.
It was in Dallas.
And, these are things that he didn't deny. He didn't deny that it was true. He actually admitted that he was cheating. He actually admitted, and this is during the my divorce process, he admitted that he was actually doing these things.
Man, so that I shouldn't bore us. That is Auntie Mayowa's story. Now the guy here in black is the latest husband, and this was it was the marriage to Robbie. That's Robbie and Mayowa on the right, and this is I don't know his name. The new man that he married. I don't know. Maybe she's the one that granted him papers to stay on, to be able to have a green card in America. But the moment the program came up, when Robbie told his story, Mayowa just went to get a lawyer, and they decided to I can't read the letter, but they said malicious defamation, false public narrative, and deliberate reputational damage against Ms. Mayowa Lambert. Final notice of of cease and desist. A legal firm wrote to Robert Ekpeyon the very next day. But the truth is that we know that this letter was just to, because the damage is already done, they think they can salvage the damage. So they quickly brought out a letter to say, they've been divorced before, he's just saying trash and all that. But my sister, sorry to say, Heights knows the best thing to do. They'll be coming for you. So, in fact, lawyers now have started coming up for Robbie Ekpo himself. Another lawyer said, let me, somebody wrote in the this thing that Mayowa has issued a cease and desist on her ex Robbie over false and defamatory statements that are being circulated publicly. She said there is no existing marital relationship and there is verifiable evidence contradicting his claim. Demands issued stop all defamatory statements, take down all false content, issue a public retraction and apology, pay $100,000 in marriage. Failure to comply within 48 hours will trigger medical legal action, no further warning. But I can tell you categorically that a lot of lawyers too have already stood up for Robbie because they know that Mayowa is just trying to do what we call damage control. But unfortunately, it's too late. Now, when I listened to the story, I asked myself, what are the lessons that one can learn from them? But before we can learn the lessons, we need to know what really, happened to Robbie. And I was able to do some bit of research. The research I did was that about mental health and the challenges of a man going through this kind of situation. He has some kind of symptoms to show that the guy is actually challenged in one way or the other. The first symptom is the betrayal trauma. The person closest to him violated trust in a profound way. That is why he's crying so bitterly. The second one is humiliation and shame, especially if he feels replaced by a woman or if his community knows. Because what happened to him was kind of shameful and, is kind of demeaning, when people know you're already to a woman and the woman is gone, married to somebody else. It's kind of sad, Identity collapse. His role as husband feels erased. He may question his worth. Yeah, because his identity was lost. His role as husband feels erased. He may question his worth. Intrusive thoughts, mental images of her with someone else replaying signs he missed. I had this experience as well. I will be imagining somebody else with my ex-wife and all that. I know that he's going through that. He definitely will be imagining that, especially imagining them in bed, all those experiences he used to have. You imagine that somebody else is having that experience right now. It's a very sickening thing. It's not a good thing. Helplessness. The marriage happened overseas. Legal or cultural barriers may block closure. Then there's the attachment injury. Further relationship may feel unsafe or impossible. Now, there are red flags that shows that or that suggest that he needs professional help. So, Robbie, in case you see my video, these are red flags that shows that you need professional help. You're unable to stop contacting her despite repeated rejection. Because from your long video, it showed that even when she was rejecting you, she came how can a woman come to Nigeria, met you at the airport, and she could not hug you, she could not kiss you? A woman is coming to Nigeria, she got to Turkey, she could not tell you her whereabouts. She's coming over, she's not updating you, she's not excited to come home. To worsen the case, she's telling you you cannot be on the same bed together. You should sleep in the living room while she stays on the bed in the room. Somebody that has been away for years. Now the person is in the country. Who's supposed to fire themselves all night long? But you were not seeing the signs. She had rejected you a long time ago. But you kept going back to her. Those are signs that you need therapy. Blaming himself entirely while excusing her deception. I'm sure you were doing this. You're blaming yourself because if you look at when I watched the video, I saw you doing a lot of blaming of yourself on the video, which is expected, of course. That's normal. It's a sign that you need help. Losing significant weight, unable to walk, or having suicidal thoughts. Thank God you were not having suicidal thoughts, but these are signs of someone who needs therapy. You are stuck in the same intense distress months. You're stuck in the same intense distress months or years later. So, my brother, these are signs that you need help. I'm going to share green flags of a very good person. If you have green flags, because these flags were not obvious in your relationship. People who truly loves you, who have this green card that you're supposed to have watched out for, they will celebrate your wins. They will remember small things about you. They will respect your boundaries. You feel energized after seeing them. My wife didn't feel energized when you were waiting at the airport, even when you took 2 cars and all those things you took there to go and wait for him. He was not energized. She was not energized. So that's a red flag. So people who truly care, love you, they will show you green cards like this. They'll feel energized after seeing them. They listen without being defensive. You said it, that she was always very, she's a very tough person. They allow you to be fully yourself. They make you feel safe. You don't have to watch what you say. They support your goals. The last one here resonated with me when she said you must go to school. You must get education. You must do this. You must do that. It is not everybody that must go to school now. It's not everybody that must go to school. The job you're doing right now, MC, Compare, what do they call it? Is a fantastic job. Look at the job you went to do outside of Nigeria with Dakolo. You got $2,000 just for 1 hour or 2. How many people get that here in America? You can't. Do you understand? And I'm sure you're very good at it. That's why you were able to get $2,000. Do you know what that means? So, my brother, these were the green flags that you were supposed to have seen. But the mistake you made was that on an act, but Daddy Flip said when I sleep, instead of saying when I nap, my friend, what is his name? He said, let's say it as it is. Unanak and unanak. First time. It's not a bad thing, but that beclouded your judgment. And I'm sorry to say. But, well, as I continue, let's watch a particular video that, talks about your situation.
They are not going to leave you. Well, at least that's what you think. That is the thing that makes this so difficult to see clearly. They show up. They respond to your messages. They tell you they care about you. They do enough, just enough, to keep you present and invested and hopeful. And while you are building something in your head and your heart, they are quietly keeping their options open, waiting, not for you to become more, waiting for someone else to become available. You are not their person. You are their patience, and the difference between those two things is everything. By the end of this video, you are going to know exactly which signs to look for, why this pattern exists, what the research says about the person who does this, and what you actually do when you recognize yourself in it. This is not a comfortable video. Let's go. Before the 5 signs, let us name what we are actually talking about. Because the word placeholder gets used loosely and it deserves a precise definition. A placeholder relationship is one in which one partner is genuinely invested while the other is not. But the less committed partner stays anyway. Not because they have chosen you, because they have not yet found something they want more. You are good enough for now. You are not the destination. You are the waiting room. Relationship researchers have a clinical name for this. They call it an asymmetrically committed relationship, an ACR. A relationship in which one partner is substantially more committed than the other. Decades of research confirms that these relationships are not neutral. They are actively damaging. Sociologist Peter Blau put it plainly 60 years ago. When one partner is considerably more invested than the other, that greater commitment either invites exploitation or provokes feelings of entrapment. Both of those outcomes obliterate love. You cannot love someone into choosing you. You can only stay long enough to finally see that they already made their choice. Sign 1. Your future exists in their conversation, but not in their plans. They talk about the future, vacations you will take, things you will do together, the life that is almost within reach. The language is warm and forward-looking, and it makes you feel like this is heading somewhere real. But nothing gets booked. Nothing gets scheduled. The future exists entirely in conversation and never in calendar. Research on commitment processes has consistently found that future plans, not past investments, not current satisfaction, but actual concrete future planning, are among the most powerful predictors of real commitment. A person who is genuinely building a future with you will make plans that have timelines, not always grand ones, but specific ones. This week, next month, real dates attached to real intentions. When someone talks vaguely about the future without taking any concrete steps toward it, the future talk is not a promise. It is a management tool. It is designed to maintain your hope without requiring their commitment. Pay attention to whether the future has dates attached to it. If it does not actually exist. Sign 2. You have not been integrated into their real life. You exist in one compartment of their life, possibly a very warm and enjoyable compartment, but a compartment nonetheless. You have met their friends, maybe, casually, once or twice. You have not met their family, or you have met their family, but in a way that was deliberately low stakes, low definition, easy to walk back. You do not appear on their social media, or you appear, but never in a way that explicitly names what you are to them. The relationship exists, but it exists in private, in defined spaces, with defined access. Here is why this matters beyond the obvious sting of it. Research on asymmetrically committed relationships found that people who perceive themselves as having more potential alternative partners were significantly more likely to be the less committed partner. In plain language, the person who is keeping you compartmentalized is keeping themselves available. The walls around your relationship are not privacy. They are access management. A person who has genuinely chosen you wants the people they love to know about you, not as a performance, but because you have become part of their life, and their life includes other people. When you are consistently kept separate from the rest of their world, you are being managed, not loved. Sign 3. The effort is calibrated to keep you just satisfied enough to stay. This is the most sophisticated and the most difficult sign to name, because the effort is real. They do show up. They do say the right things. They do make you feel chosen, sometimes in doses. But if you pay attention over time, and I mean real attention, not the attention filtered through the feelings you have for them, there is a pattern. The effort spikes when you pull back. It softens when you recommit. It is not consistent. It is responsive. Responsive specifically to the risk of losing you. This is not love, this is regulation. The research on this is uncomfortable. Studies on commitment processes have found that less committed partners are aware of their partner's higher commitment and strategically manage their behavior to maintain a desired level of closeness without increasing their own investment. They are not confused about what they are doing. They are calibrating, keeping you warm enough to stay without making the kind of investment that would actually cost them something if they left. If you notice that your partner's effort has a direct relationship with your availability, that they pursue you when you are distant and relax when you are close, you are watching calibration, not love. Sign 4. The relationship has no agreed definition, and any attempt to create one produces conflict or deflection. You have had the conversation, or tried to have it. You have raised the question of what this is, where it is going, what you are to each other. And something happened in that conversation that left you feeling like the problem. Either they told you that you were moving too fast, or that labels do not matter. What matters is what you have. Or they got defensive, and the conversation somehow ended with you apologizing for asking. Research on asymmetrical commitment found something specific about this dynamic that deserves to be said clearly. When one partner is unable or unwilling to declare their commitment, it makes it significantly harder for the other partner to feel secure, predict the future, or make informed decisions about their own life. That ambiguity is not an accident. Ambiguity is the product. A person who is genuinely committed to you is not threatened by the question of what you are. They may be nervous about having the conversation. They may not have the perfect language for it, but they will not make you feel punished for is telling you something the other person is not. Sign 5. Your gut has been right the whole time. and you have been negotiating with it. This is the sign that precedes all the others. The one that was there first before you had language for any of it. The specific, quiet, persistent feeling that something is slightly off, that you are slightly further out on a branch than they are, that you are building with someone who has not fully picked up their tools. You know this feeling. You have known it for longer than you want to admit. You have explained it away. You have given context to it. They are busy. They are scared. They have been hurt before. They are just not ready yet. You have done an enormous amount of intellectual work to silence a feeling that did not require any. The Attachment Project's research on placeholder dynamics notes that gut instinct is among the most consistent early indicators that something is wrong with commitment asymmetry in a relationship. Not because your gut is always right about everything, but because your nervous system has access to information your conscious mind is refusing to process. The information is in the patterns, in the small moments of not quite being chosen, in the conversations that get deflected, in the future that keeps receding. Your nervous system has been reading those patterns and filing reports. Access to information your conscious mind is refusing to process. The information is in the patterns, in the small moments of not quite being chosen, in the conversations that get deflected, in the future that keeps receding. Your nervous system has been reading those patterns and filing reports. You have been marking them unread. So what do you actually do? First, stop performing confidence you do not have. The instinct when you recognize this dynamic is to become less available, more mysterious, more of a challenge. And yes, that may temporarily increase their effort, because less committed partners respond to the perceived risk of losing access. But a relationship built on manufacturing that risk is not a relationship. It is a game. And the moment you stop playing it, the dynamic returns exactly to where it was. Second, ask the question directly and treat the response as the full truth, not the words, the response. Their hesitation, their deflection, their sudden reframing of the question, that is the answer. A person who wants you will tell you, not perfectly, but clearly enough. Third, and this is the hardest one, factor the time cost into your assessment. Every month you spend in a relationship that is not moving toward what you need is a month you are not available to something that could. That is not a small cost. Over a year, over 2 years. It is an enormous cost, paid in patience and hope, and the parts of yourself you slowly dim to stay compatible with someone who was never fully in. You are not a placeholder for anyone. You are someone's destination, and you will not find that destination by staying where you are already being treated like a layover. And tell me in the comments, have you ever realized you were someone's placeholder? What was the moment you finally saw it clearly?
So, apparently, Robbie was a placeholder for Maiwa. Yes. Robbie was just a placeholder for Maiwa because Maiwa had not met her husband. She had, plans. She had places to go. The next one will be, let's learn. What are the lessons that we can learn from this experience? If you're young, if you're going to watch this video in the future, what are the lessons or, things that you can learn from what happened to Robbie so that it doesn't happen to you? So Robbie's case was an invisible wound, betrayal, trauma, and relationship, grief, and how to be healed when the one you trusted break you. Yeah, betrayal doesn't just hurt, it rewires your brain. Yes, it rewires your brain. I think my slide is large. Anyway, it doesn't just, it's not just hot feelings. It's not just hot feelings. It's a survival response gone wrong. Survival what? Response gone wrong. Your brain treats betrayal like a mini earthquake under your foundation. It could be very devastating. That is why Robbie could not hold it. He was crying. He couldn't help it. He couldn't believe what happened to him. That is why a grown man could be on stage crying. But he's not sensitive. You are just mourning the person you thought they were. Robbie was just mourning mourning the person that he thought Mayowa is. But Mayowa was not a real person, was not a good person. You are not too sensitive. You are mourning the person you thought they were, just like I said. Sometimes you need to check your childhood trauma. You need to check the connection between your childhood and your adulthood. If you experience betrayal as a child, broken promises, neglect, emotional abuse, parentification, etc., adult betrayal hits an already open wound. So if you've experienced childhood trauma, maybe when you were young, you had broken promises, a parent neglected you, there was emotional abuse, maybe by another parent or a caregiver, it will give you wounds. And when you now start experiencing neglect in adulthood, it reflects back to what you've gone through when you were young. So adult betrayal hits an already open wound. You may blame yourself faster, stay longer, or dissociate when triggered. So these are things you experience if you have had childhood trauma. But, looking at the palm or the fingers on the picture here, you see that healing is just isn't about what they did last month. It's about what that moment reminded you of from years ago when you were young, just like I said. It's never your fault. Betrayal trauma is not a reflection of your what? Never. No. Common lies your brain tells you is that if I had been better, your brain will be telling you that, oh, if you had been better, I should have known. No, it's not your fault. The fact is that trusting is healthy. To trust someone is very good. Breaking trust is a choice they made. So it is not our choice to, not to break the trust. That's our problem. You did your best, Robbie. If you're watching this video, you did your very best. It was just our fault, For me, if I would advise, just go and heal yourself. It is never your fault, like I said. How do you start healing? The first phase is safety. You need to stop seeking closure from the person who harmed you or hurt you. You need to stop seeking closure. The second phase is to create physical and emotional distance. You need to stop no contact, low contact if it's possible, and then name the grief. I am grieving safety, not just them. So what it means is you're not going to be saying I'm grieving Mayowa, but now you're grieving safety. You're grieving the fact that you need to be safe. Do you understand? All you need to do again is to write down one boundary. You need to set boundaries because you didn't have boundary in that relationship. You need to set boundaries you've been afraid to set. Text a friend that you're setting the boundaries right now. So you're creating boundaries. Just like this lady is using those books to create boundaries. You need to start setting boundaries and then let people know that, oh, I've started taking steps to help myself. And then phase 2, you need to rebuild your reality. Betrayal fractures your sense of what is real, but you have to practice grounding. I am safe now. That event is over. You have to start doing that every day. And then you need to start journaling. Journal, what did I ignore? What did I ignore? What will I never ignore again? So if I were Robbie, if you're watching this, you just have to start journaling and say, hey, this was my experience in that marriage, or this was my experience when I met her. This is what I will never take again. Start journaling, start putting them into a file or a folder or a diary, so that when you're going to, like you promise yourself, you're going to be trying to love someone again, you don't want a repeat of what happened. You have to, if you want to rebuild, please comment rebuild if you are ready to stop gaslighting yourself about whatever happened to you in that relationship. Healing childhood wounds within adult betrayal. So you have to ask yourself, how old do I feel right now? It's usually often like 5 years old, 8 years old, or 12 years old. But you have to now reparent yourself. What should that child have heard? You deserve the loyalty. That means when you were a child, you were supposed to have been told, oh, you were loved. Maybe when you were a child, you were told you're not good enough. You're not a good enough child, or you can never amount to anything good. Now you have to rephrase it and say, hey, Robbie, I am better. I am a good guy. I will do better. I will excel. I will do this, I will do that, I will manifest, I will be great, I will get a better wife, I will get a good woman who loves me truly, I am worthy of love. You start saying things like that, and then you can help yourself. If you don't have money for therapy, you can use therapy models of EMDR, IFS, betrayal trauma informed therapy. If you use these models, you can help yourself. And for anyone who's watching who needs therapy too, this model is very good for you to use. You know, you can't change your past, but you can stop letting a past betrayal be the lens of your today's love. As a child, you cannot change that past, but believe me, your future can be better. What not to do, which is a tough love slide, is replay the discovery scene for hours. And try to win them back. Is what not you should not do. Replay the discovery scene for hours. No, don't try. Trying to win them back to prove your worth. Never. Don't do it again, Robbie. Isolate completely. No, you need people around you. Try and be in the midst of people who love you, or community of people who've gone through exactly what you went through, and that will help you. Don't rush into a new relationship to feel desired. That will be a no-no. Obsessing over the why won't give you peace. Action will. Those actions that I said earlier on will give you the peace that you desire. And then the little things that you need to start doing that will actually help you. In the morning, you can say, today I am available for I am not available for self-blame. So I'm not going to be blaming myself ever again. In the evening, name one moment you felt okay. Then weekly, you can say betrayal trauma support group online. You can join them every week to help yourself. You know, they might be online. And then monthly, you write a letter you'll never send. So when you do this, practice, there are little rituals. There are small rituals that will help you heal faster. You can also, put this in your calendar to celebrate yourself. Small anniversaries on your calendar to love yourself. That's why they have the picture of love in that calendar. And then signs that you need to get professional help. If you can't eat, sleep after 3 months of doing this, you need to get professional help. If you are using substances to numb, you need professional help. If you are having intrusive images of revenge or self-harm, please go for professional help. You don't need all that. These are signs that you need professional help. Therapy isn't for broken people. It is for smart people who want their life back. Some people say therapy is not good. They can't go for therapy and all that. I say no. Therapy is very good. It will help you to get your life back. You are very recoverable. Betrayal trauma changes you, and that is very sure. That is real. But it does not have to define you. Healing isn't forgetting. It's remembering without the shaking. So you can heal, but you can never forget. That's what that slide is saying. And if you truly, follow through, I'm sure you will help yourself. If you need the slide, just comment below and I'll drop the slide for you, because that's a slide from my own therapy section. I got it from my therapy session. I'd gone through this experience and I was able to heal from it. So let's see how you can choose the right partner. Choosing the right partner.
Partners by how they make you feel, by the electricity. By the way, your chest does something specific when they walk into a room, by some combination of attraction, familiarity, and the quiet desperation of not wanting to be alone. And then you wonder why you keep ending up in dynamics that damage you. Here is the brutal truth. Your heart is not a reliable partner selection tool. It is a dopamine delivery system shaped by your earliest experiences of love, including the painful ones. It is drawn to what is familiar, what feels like home. And for a significant number of people, what feels like home is not safe. This video is about the actual framework for choosing a partner. Not a romantic one, a practical one, built on research, not on movies. And by the end of it, you're going to have a completely different set of questions to ask about the person you are considering. or the person you are already with. Before the framework, let us name the thing most people are actually using to evaluate a partner, because it is almost never what they say it is. Most people say they want kindness, intelligence, shared values, ambition, and they mean all of that sincerely. The problem is that in practice, at the level of actual decision-making, in the moments that matter, what most people are responding to is not those qualities. It is felt sense, the I just know feeling that this person is right. And the felt sense is real. It is just not reliable. Neurologically, early romantic attraction activates the brain's reward circuitry in a way that specifically suppresses the activity of the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for rational judgment, risk assessment, and accurate evaluation of other people, the part that would catch red flags, the part that would notice patterns, the part that would ask the hard questions. Your heart does not choose partners, your dopamine system does. And your dopamine system was calibrated in childhood by whatever combination of warmth, inconsistency, safety, and threat was present in your earliest attachment relationships. Which means if you grew up with unpredictable love, love that had to be earned, love that came with anxiety attached, your nervous system learned to associate that specific emotional texture with intimacy. And now, as an adult, what feels like deep connection and irresistible chemistry is often just the echo of a familiar nervous system state. The excitement that feels like love, the anxiety that feels like passion. You are not choosing the person, you are choosing the feeling, and the feeling is from another time. So what do you actually look for? The first quality is emotional regulation, not absence of emotion, the ability to manage difficult emotions without making them everyone else's problem. This is the single most important predictor of how someone will treat you during conflict. And conflict is not a failure mode of relationships. It is a regular feature of them. Every long-term relationship will involve difficulty, disappointment, disagreement. The question is what this person does with the difficult feeling that arises in those moments. A person with poor emotional regulation, someone who escalates, withdraws in punishment, uses silence as a weapon, or transforms their discomfort into attacks on your character, will damage your mental health regardless of how much they love you. Not because they are malicious, because they have not developed the capacity to sit with a hard feeling without externalizing it. Research is clear on this. Studies on couples consistently show that a partner's emotional regulation difficulties are directly associated with the other partner's psychological well-being, relationship satisfaction, and long-term mental health outcomes. You absorb the regulation failures of the person you live alongside. Their inability to manage their own nervous system becomes a chronic stressor in yours. Watch how they behave when they are frustrated, when things do not go their way, when they are tired, hungry, disappointed, or wrong. Not in the crisis moments, in the ordinary ones. That is the data. The second quality is accountability without collapse. The ability to say, I did something wrong, I understand the specific harm it caused, and I am going to change the behavior, without it requiring an hour of managing their emotional response to being told they caused harm. This matters more than it sounds, because what most people encounter instead is defensive accountability, the apology that is actually an argument, the acknowledgement that becomes a negotiation, the admission that is immediately followed by all the reasons the admission should not count. Research on emotional intelligence shows that people who genuinely take responsibility without collapsing into shame or pivoting to defensiveness have significantly better relationship outcomes. Not just because they cause less harm, but because the people they love feel safe telling them. And the ability to be honest with your partner about what you need and what is not working is the foundation of everything else. If telling your partner something is difficult made you feel like you did something wrong, that is information. A partner who cannot receive honesty without making honesty costly is a partner who has made it impossible for you to have a real relationship with them. The third quality is curiosity about you. Genuine, sustained, reciprocal curiosity. Not the early infatuation version where someone is fascinated by everything about you because everything about you is new. The later version, the version that persists after the novelty has worn off. The version where 6 months in, a year in, 3 years in, this person is still genuinely interested in how you think, what you are feeling, what you are working through. Research on what Gottman called bids for connection, the small attempts to engage another person that build or erode intimacy over time, shows that partners who consistently respond to each other's bids with curiosity and engagement produce relationships that remain close over time. The ones who turn away do not. But here is what to watch for specifically in the early stages. Not whether They are interested in you when you are interesting, whether they are interested in you when you are ordinary, when you bring up something small, something mundane, something that would require no effort to dismiss. How they respond to the small things is the best predictor of how they will respond to the large ones. The fourth quality is the capacity to sit with your emotions without fixing, dismissing, or fleeing them. Emotional validation, the specific ability to acknowledge what another person is feeling as real and legitimate without immediately correcting it, solving it, or minimizing it, is one of the most consistent predictors of psychological safety within a relationship. And psychological safety is not a soft concept. It is the specific state in which your nervous system can rest inside a relationship. The state in which you do not have to monitor how you express yourself. Do not have to calibrate what you say based on what reaction it will produce. Do not have to manage someone else's emotional response to your emotions. A 2025 study on psychological safety and relationship satisfaction found it to be among the strongest predictors of both relationship and sexual satisfaction, outperforming many of the qualities most people name when asked what they want in a partner. When you tell this person something that is sad or scary or shameful, and they lean in rather than away, that is data. When you express a need and they receive it rather than defend against it, that is data. When you are struggling and they sit beside the struggle rather than trying to end it quickly so they can be comfortable again, that is data. Here is the framework in practice. Not a checklist to run through on a first date, an orientation to take into every interaction over time. Watch how they speak about their exes, not whether they have grievances, but whether they have any capacity for their own role in what went wrong. How they handle being told no. How they behave when they are the most stressed version of themselves. And watch how you feel consistently. Not in the high moments, not in the early chemistry, but in the ordinary Tuesday evenings when nothing is happening and you are just two people in a room together. Do you feel calm? Do you feel free to be exactly who you are? Do you feel seen without performing? The right relationship does not feel like a constant audition. It does not feel like a problem you're always trying to solve. It does not feel like love that must be earned and then earned again. It feels like breathing, and you will know the difference now that you are looking for the right things. And tell me in the comments, what is one quality you now realize you never assessed in a past partner that would have changed everything?
That is choosing the right partner. That is choosing the right partner. If you choose the wrong partner, I'm sorry for your life. Very sorry for your life. Before we round up, let's listen to some very great advice that I started the program with. And I want to end the program with these advices. Please listen carefully.
One of the greatest gifts a man can ever get is a woman whose heart is with you. One of the greatest, it is one of the greatest gifts that will attract prosperity. Wow.
The person you choose as your life partner will affect your faith, will affect your family, will affect your finances, will affect your fitness, will affect your joy, will affect your outlook, will affect your spirituality, will affect your path. I didn't realize that when I was younger, but someone said the most important decision you make in life is your life partner.
Whoa.
And after being with Ken for 30 years, I know what it's like to pick a bad life partner. I know what it's like to pick a good life partner. So in this moment, I would say your life partner.
That's it. And
Facts. Marriage is overwhelmingly unsuccessful. It is way more dangerous than skydiving. Yes, you die from the skydiving, but the chances of a catastrophic skydiving incident is like 0.0003, and one where you die is 0.00001. It's like very limited, the chances of dying from skydiving. Whereas the chances of divorce, again, 56% divorce rate. How many stay together who are unhappy and they just stay together because they don't give up half their stuff or for religious reasons or whatever? This is a technology with an unbelievably bad failure rate.
Do more people die from marriage or skydiving?
Well, I think more people wish they were dead from marriage than skydiving. I think most people's sense of self, many people's sense of self dies as part of an unhappy marriage. Like, it's not a question of will you die. It's that you're alive and not living your life in a way that's enjoyable or in a way that's authentic to who you are. And I think a lot of people are doing that as a function of the choice that they made of marriage. And again, I'm not saying don't get married. But what I'm saying is, when someone says, I'm getting married, why is it impolite to say, why? Why? You're about to do something incredibly dangerous that fails so much of the time. Why not just say, why? I'm not saying, why would you do that? It's stupid. I'm saying, why? Because most people's answer doesn't make any sense. Well, because, I don't want to be alone. Wait, you have to get married to not be alone? Join a church group. I don't know. Join a baking squad. Join a softball team. You won't be alone. What does that mean? Well, I want to have, regular sex. Okay, I don't know that getting married is the solution to that. Like, it's not a guarantee of regular sex. Like, that's not, so if the question, first of all, you're not even allowed to ask the question. Well, if anything, if you don't say, oh my God, that's so great, you have intimacy issue.
And lastly, Maiwa, I want to guarantee you that you are going home. Bagbe, you're on your way to Nigeria. Robbie, I congratulate you. Your pain has been vindicated. God has been on your side. I know you went to that broadcast, to that podcast innocently, to pour out your pain, and you did well. You did very well. You cried. You did everything. But Evan was listening to you when you were pouring out your pain. That same day that you poured out your pain, this lawyer came up with this story. Maiwa is on her way home. I can guarantee that she's been investigated right now. Congratulations to you, Robbie. You did well. But find a place to heal. And I know you will heal because you're a good man. I think you truly love her. That is why you could pour out yourself so much. But listen to this lawyer who has vindicated you. This lawyer has vindicated you, and Robbie will soon be, Maiwa will soon be in Nigeria. That is why I know that karma is very powerful. Please don't hurt people. Don't hurt anyone. Don't use people. People who use people would always get their karma. Please listen to this lawyer.
In increasing social media and financial vetting and community interviews. Although before this policy was announced, we have already been saying it on this program that if you are not a U.S. citizen, you need to be careful with your social media posts. You need to be careful with what you post online, electronically, either on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on Instagram, TikTok, and you see, I read something last week. I can't remember precisely where I read it, but I read something last week where the DHS admitted that they were actually using, what do they call this thing? Malware, some kind of malware to actually, because a lot of people believe that conversation on WhatsApp is secure. It's encrypted. DHS admitted, I read it somewhere, I will try to find out where I did. They admitted that they were using some kind of technology to actually read messages on WhatsApp. So for those of you who believe that their communication is secure on WhatsApp, you may want to have a rethink. It may be secure to people like you and me, but as far as American government is concerned, they have access to all this information. I've always told my client that, look, these people have access to this technology. They are the ones that created all this technology. So the EU who invented a pencil also invented the eraser. So if you write something with a pencil, they can also clean it up with an eraser. So they own all these technologies. I will try to find out where I read that. I read it last week that they admitted. Maybe it is one of the congressional inquiries. DHS admitted that they have this malware that they use to intercept and read encrypted messages on WhatsApp. So, if you are if you are like me before now, who used to believe that our communications on WhatsApp are secure, yes, it may be secure as between two people. It may be secured as between you and your friends. It may be secured as between you and other people. But as far as the US government is concerned, it is not secured. They admitted, the Department of Homeland Security admitted. Oh, did you see it there? Yeah, spyware. Yeah. So they admitted. In fact, somebody just told me here now that they did you just Google it?
Yeah, it's on NPR.
So what did you Google?
So I Googled place where DHS admitted to using malware.
Okay. If you want to verify it, just go on Google, type place where DHS admitted using malware to track WhatsApp messages. So they have this technology. So if you are like me, who used to believe that whatever we say or whatever we do on WhatsApp is secure, now you know. Be careful what you say online. Be careful what you write online. Be careful what you post online. It is very clear that all this security thing does not affect the US government. They have access to it, whether it is secure or not.
So, Maiwa, I understand that you have started deleting all of your what do you call it? Your marriage pictures and all that. I think you're wasting your time. They've already seen it. The US government have already downloaded it. I was just seeing somebody's channel now. I was like, what the hell is this one talking about? Let me show you. What's going on here? You have started deleting. You're wasting your time because it's a lie. It's not going to happen. The US government will get you. Look at Mayowa Lambert deletes all new wedding photos as deportation fear looms. Let's listen to it.
Hold on, before you pay for yet another app to manage your team, let me introduce you to Connect Team, the one platform.
Understand the gravity of that letter, that letter implicated her. It was when people now pointed it to her that, oh, 2025, you claimed the marriage ended in 2025 and you had done arranging marriage before. Do you know what Mayowa is now trying to do? Mayowa is trying to scrub the internet of that letter.
Now lie. Oh,
so I was on my own when I received this email. I said, which one be this one again? They say privacy concern, that me I revealed people's private information. I said, what is this? Then I went online, I saw that Mayowa had deleted it on her page and deactivated her page. Before she deactivated her page, she had also deleted all the wedding photos to this her new husband, Daniel Abraham. She don't delete, even the guy too had deleted everything.
Struggles, too many troubles. I tried to make a change, but things remain the same.
You see it? So apparently, the ex-wife of this man came out to say that he abandoned her in Nigeria with 2 children. So more exes are coming out to talk. So that is why they are now hiding. They are scrubbing. She's trying to scrub the internet. Him is scrubbing the internet because ICE is watching. The fear of ICE is the beginning of wisdom. But there's no need to run, Maiwa. They have already seen it. Go and sleep. They have already seen it. The problem with people is you always try to jump. There are some things that you can carry phone and call and settle without the whole brouhaha. When you go and meet a lawyer, instead of those charge and bail, charge and bail to advise you. Say, this road you dey pass, no road here. There is no road here. Charge and bail, because charge and bail want to chop money. Charge and bail will say, bring, we will write them letter. We will write them letter. Now charge and bail don't write letter. Letter don't do what? It don't backfire. Now you are trying to scrub the internet of the letter. You have deactivated your page. You are now involving me. Avoid me. I don't know there when una two they do na this thing. Or when your waist know this, they know they satisfy your waist. Because I saw a video of you where you were ranting that if husband or the knacking wife well is a problem. I saw old video. Look at the video now.
See, for woman, when a husband has good sex with the wife,
Imagine.
when you have constant sex with your wife, when you then knock your wife steady, he dey relieve frustration. Even if you no get money, even if things never arrange the way it's supposed to arrange, there's a certain happiness that comes with it.
Happiness.
I don't know what they do this men. My wife, she too they nag, she too they complain, she too they this. Sometimes when we women are sex starved, we they accumulate and we they turn like nagging. We go they accumulate them. Nothing where you go do we go good for our eye. But woman where then they knock them well.
Imagine.
My brother, he they release frustration. He they release frustration. So husbands, please, in the name of Jehovah Nisi Heshadai, any God that you serve, knock your wife.
Knock your wife.
And not just any knocking. See,
So I was not there. I didn't help Robbie hold candle to see your kuma where to put it. And I was not a referee in your Okwegata. Whether Robbie knock you well or Robbie not knock you well. I was not there. Please avoid me. YouTube is saying they will take down the video if I don't delete. They said there is privacy concern in the video. Wait till I want to delete for the full video. What do I want to delete in the video? Do I delete all the letter parts or I leave it? Man, avoid me. I take God name, beg you.
Anyway, my people, that is my wife for you. She's trying to get over the whole issue, but it's too late. Like the lawyer said, she's on her way home. For those of you that watched, thank you very much for joining me on the live. And those that are going to watch it much later, please like, comment. I will look forward to your comments. What do you think about Robbie? What do you think about the whole incident? And please be very careful what you post out there, especially when you're not a U.S. citizen. If you're not a U.S. citizen, even if you're a U.S. citizen, as long as you are not born in America, you stand the chance of losing it. Please be careful with the social media. Thank you so much for watching. This is where I will end the show. Thank you, and I'll see you much later. Bye.
Be sure to like, subscribe, and press the notification bell. Goodbye.